Welcome to episode 2 of the LD Viop Please Don't Cancel Me P1D. Today we are going to be discussing Game 2 thoughts and recaps. We are going to give out some shout outs to some rookies and vets. We are going to do a breakdown of our top 5 goalies all time. And Scumbag of the Week. That segment will be in there too. So, Violence, welcome. We will jump right into thoughts on Game 2. What did it look like to you from spectator?
All right, what up, AG? It's your glue-sniffing cult leader, Striker Viop. I thought Game 2 was pretty much more of the same. PD, I thought they played an okay first period, and then pretty much right to shit after that. Like, they played really bad, missing a lot of easy passes. No movement or anything in their offense. Players way too far away from each other again, so whoever had the puck didn't have passing options. And then even when they did have passing options, they weren't making good decisions. So they're just making your job easier, and then you guys just played how you normally do and came out with the close victory. Again, there's CR sitting, and C&M kept them in it for a while, but it's more the same, I thought. How about you?
So, they made some adjustments, which I thought was interesting because, they obviously won Game 1 handily. I mean,
Yeah.
they kind of ran away with it. And so they made an adjustment where they moved Strike into the Warbird and AP into the Terrier. And I have a few different thoughts on these. I think they were trying to achieve was better ball support through the midfield and with going with more speed. And what I think happened to them is, I mean, they tried to play our game versus what their game and their win condition is, which I think Strike is probably, in the current settings, I think he probably utilizes the Weasel slap shot better than anybody.
Yeah.
And when I saw him switch to Warbird and AP went to Terrier, Strike's going to be good in either ship that he plays, but AP's got to play in the Bird. I mean, that made him significantly less effective. Like, there was less impact. And I think their ball support was probably, quote-unquote, better. But they have a team full of dynamic strikers. And that, if they're in the ships where they can score at any time, they kind of just gimp themselves. So I think it did make it easier for us. I never really felt like they threatened the net. I mean, Strike got that first goal, but Dan just gave it to him.
Yeah.
And if you take that out, I mean, maybe they had a couple of net crashing opportunities at the end, but I never really felt threatened the entire game.
Yeah, I didn't see much of a threat. Like, they had maybe a few little chances. But, like, I respect them for trying to make a change after, like, a win like that. Most people would not dare change their lineup. And it obviously didn't work out, but you can say it was because of the changes they made, but also the players, like, they have to play way better as a team. I'd love to see Strike and Panda double Warbird. I don't think they would do that, or many other people would think it would be smart, but I think double Warbird is a great way to go if you have two guys who have some chemistry and both of them know how to play the ship, so I'd like to see that. They probably won't do it, but
I think the problem is for them, I mean, and I want to be a little bit careful about what I say, but the problem that you run into in their lineup, if they decide to go double Bird, they will completely remove Zeppelin from the game. Like, he won't be able to stay in the flow of the game with how fast the ball's going to move. It's going to be the Strike and AP show, and Zepp's going to be floating around in the big yellow boat trying to figure out where he fits in the game. And
that's kind of what they're doing now, though. Like, Zepp's not really highly involved.
I mean, I guess, but I think, Zepp's one of the best players to ever play Hockey Zone. I mean, they got to find a way to utilize him better, and double Birds isn't going to do it. Like, I think he'll get lost in transition more if they go with that lineup, and I don't think that's good for them. I mean, they can certainly try it. I think it makes them less dynamic overall, but we'll see what adjustments they make. I mean, I think their best lineup is probably what they did in game one, because each person's playing the ship that they're best at. But we'll see.
Let's get Panda out of the chair, regardless. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just looking. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong series here. I don't know. I just think that Zeppelin's he's hardly on the ball at all right now. But also, if they did go to 2 Warbirds, then Zeppelin may have to stop lunging every single time, because that would leave them kind of exposed even more. But Zepp only had 74 puck carries in the second game. That's not a lot at all.
Yeah, I mean, they need to get more touches, and
they're just not playing well.
But yeah, you never know.
Some other thoughts are that, again, Zabe 57 puck carries, Kula had 59, and that's just not enough involvement from your midfielder. Well, especially because he's really good at the game. 57 puck carries, 22 turnovers.
If you watch how they're playing, though, so Kula is basically a second goalie, right? And Zeppelin is basically given free reign to try and lunge, and he's trying to take away. Typically, he's trying to take away either me or he's trying to take away Leaf on his lunges, right? So he's given free reign to lunge, and the reason you have to do that is because if he doesn't lunge, he's never going to catch up to the play in transition, right? So he has to lunge and hit his checks. Well, what ends up happening is Zabe fills in basically the passing slot. He just stays there. So he's kind of he's their de facto 4 guy, and he's got to get more touches, but he's doing a role that's it's probably not going to show up in the stat sheet, but it's very disruptive for our offense because he's just standing where he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, but I agree they could get him more involved offensively, but I think what he's thinking is he doesn't want us to end up in a 3 or 4 on 1 on Kula either.
Yeah. So the way I see it is he has a really big responsibility, and like you say, on defense, he's definitely doing his job and making it hard for you. But in my opinion, a good midfielder has to do it also. When they get the puck, he should be trying to run things, trying to get open. And if he makes a good cut and then you guys take him away, other people will get open. But I think you have to be able to control offense and defense as a midfielder, or at least try. I don't think he's trying enough on offense to be available and be an option.
I mean, I can agree with that. I think he wants to play more passive because I think he knows if we get a window, we're going to exploit it.
Yeah.
But I think he is the key for their offense being more successful for sure. No doubt about
it. I know if I was him and I was playing midfield and I have Zepp and Strike on my team, I want to try to run things and get them as many touches as possible and at least give them a chance to let their skills come out and score some goals. But if you're just passive and not doing much, then I don't know. You guys are so good because all 4 of you do play offense and defense, and you're always moving and stuff. And it's really hard in the playoffs if you have 2 or 3 guys doing it only, and one a couple guys just not moving around much. It's you guys are playing 2 different games pretty much. That's just how I see it.
Well, I'm looking forward to Game 3. We'll see what adjustments they make, and
who will get the start in net?
The plan is to go with CP. So
really,
he said he's feeling better. I'm not gonna go into his situation on here, but he said he's feeling better and healing, and he said he's a full go. So CP will be back.
All right, that's great. We'll give for some good material on the broadcast. I hope he does well, I guess. Apparently, you guys think I'm anti-Toon Squad.
Hey, I heard it. It's okay. It's all right to have a heel in the booth. Keeps the show going.
I'm not a heel, but whatever makes Leaf happy.
Hey, moving on to next segment. Great segue. Let's cover top 5 goalies all time.
Okay, great. You go first.
I gotta go first.
Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You say your 5, and then I'll say my 5.
Okay. I'm going to start at the top though.
Okay.
So I've always said this, and I maintain this position. I think that Linux and CNM are two of the best. I mean, it's 1A, 1B for me. Like I don't know that I would rank one higher than the other. They've played in different settings and they played in different eras, but each of them. I mean, it's undeniable that they're the two most dominant goalies ever. Like I don't think it's even close in terms of body of work. Now,
Yeah, I've got 1, 2 as well.
having said that, if I go 3, 4, 5, I'm I'm gonna weigh this based on what I think the goalie's ceiling was, like skill ceiling. So I think, and I would hold true to this. Like when Super Dan is on, I think he is the best goalie ever. And I don't like when he's predicting plays and he's reading plays and he's sober. I think he's the best goalie that there is. I think his skill ceiling is higher than anybody else's.
Got to
So
factor in sobriety and drug status.
yeah, you gotta. We have to have a BAC check. So I would put Dan 3 for me. Plus, he's got hardware. It's not like he hasn't won anything. In the 4 spot, I think I would put Cyborg.
Okay, you just pretty much went against my plan of going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, year 5, then my 5. But yep, you're just gonna go through your whole list.
Let me just go through my list here,
Number
bud.
4, Cyborg.
Number 4, Cyborg. Okay,
Yeah.
Cyborg was, at least back in the day, I think he was by far the hardest goalie I ever played against. That guy was a machine. He he was on that Interpuck team, and they were a complete force to be reckoned with. There's a guy that I wish had stuck around. I think he, based on what his skill ceiling was and how technical he was, his play style to me reminded me a lot of like CNM. Like he just didn't make mistakes. You had to earn every goal. He wasn't going to give it to you. So I'm going to put Cyborg 4.
Mm-hmm.
And number 5, I think I'm going to have to go Just Low. And, probably a pretty unpopular opinion, but, I mean, he was the original inventor of the goalie guide. There was a guy that was like, his play style was extremely technical. He was all about angles and, taking away space. And
The Poindexter.
yeah, I mean, he had some hardware back then. I think if he had stuck around, I think another guy probably would have had. We'd be talking potentially about him being the GOAT had he stuck around and played a bunch. So again, there's probably some other goalies throughout here that probably have more hardware, more awards and stuff like that. But I'm just thinking about purely outside of 1A, 1B, who probably were the highest in terms of skill ceiling. So I got Linux, CNM, Super Dan, Cyborg, and Just Low.
Yeah, really like the list. I agree with all of them. I did put CNM as number 1 over Linux just because he has a little more edge to him. He'll talk some shit. He's very confident in himself. And also he's a way better passer than Linux, which makes a bit of a difference. I think Linux is almost as bad as Nimzo with the puck. And so yeah, Linux is number 2. He was I don't know how many. Do you know how many cups he has? 1?
I don't know. I know he's got more than one. I think he's in the 3 and 4 range.
ITF won more than once? Not sure.
Well, he won one with Money Inc., but he was a backup.
Okay.
But he did play for us. And then I think he won 2 or 3 with ITF, right?
Yeah. So yeah, Linux was really good shot stopper. And then number 3 for me is Cyborg. Like you said, really technical. I think he played for a while, right? At least 5 seasons.
I started at the end of season 8 and I didn't play. Yeah. So anything prior to that, I don't know.
Like he was really consistent every year he played. He was really good. Kind of like just a slightly worse version of CNM. And he was also a decent striker as well. So he's my number 3. And then I have Justlow at 4 for everything you said. He kind of always relied on his CR sitter to do a lot of the work, but he would never mess up on his side either and was really good. I think he could have been one of the greatest, like you said, if he played a little bit longer. And then my number 5 is actually Frozen Flame. He only had like 3 like he was pretty. He went from being like average in the MSHL, like even maybe below average, and then he had a few like dominant seasons, high 80s save percentages, and really carried his teams. Unfortunately, was dispatched in the finals to creasers alongside yourself by myself, but he was good for like 3 seasons, really good. And then I probably should have put Superden on there, but I forgot him, to be honest. So that's my list: CNM, Linux, Cyborg, Justlow, and Frozen Flame.
Wow.
Any honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions for goalie.
Do you give Boogeyman an honorable mention?
Um,
I'm going to take that as a no.
I personally wouldn't. I mean, he's had an okay career. I think he's not always been on the best teams, probably.
Yeah. He's had some moments of greatness.
Like, I think when I'm thinking of, like, honorable mentions, I would think of, like, maybe, like, God.
Also, can I just say one?
This is actually really hard, believe it or not.
I'll just say one thing, that I left all creasers goalies off the list because they are automatically 1 through 5. So like Edmo, number 1 of all time, Goldenarm number 2, but I just left them off the list.
I mean, maybe like Blitzsturm.
Yeah, I looked at him, but he had like one season where his save percentage was really high, and the rest kind of like middling.
I think a lot of people liked Super Freak too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was around a lot during that time period. I always thought Steve Cheese was probably serviceable.
Can't be throwing him out there on the honorable mention for.
I mean, he gave us a lot of years, running the schedule.
I can't put him on the top 5 goalie honorable mention. Might as well have Juked and Jeans on there. Do you remember Jeans?
No.
Oh, okay, don't worry about it then. I think he's in jail now. CR season 12 keeper.
I wouldn't mind giving Jug a shout out.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where he is these days, but I always liked him.
Yeah. Batman 2, if you're listening, I just didn't put you on the list because you're a former creasers keeper. Please don't dox me.
All right. Covered it, man.
Okay.
So let's go over to Scumbag of the Week, and I will let you go first on this one.
Okay, well, first off, I want to start by saying I am a big fan of David Seaman in general. Like, he's very entertaining. I find most of his work very fun, and think he's a good guy, but I'm going to have to say he is my Scumbag of the Week because the rumors coming out of the, what team were they? Goldikers? Yes, the Goldikers locker room is that he again went into the playoff series against you guys already defeated and basically conceding defeat before the series even begun. And that just bothers me. Like, when he was on creasers, we went pretty much undefeated in the regular season and then had some guys leave in the playoffs, and he basically threw in the towel before the series started just because 9 was absent and we had to play with V-Flex and I believe Demonic it was. So we had an undefeated season, and then he just gave up in the playoffs and conceded defeat. And he's still doing that in this present day, and that makes him the Scumbag of the Week for me. Hate to say it. I wish he would just be a bit more of a competitor and not worry about like who's on his team. Like, just go into every game expecting to win. But he's still doing that 10 years later, so that's my Scumbag of the Week.
I'm really glad that you built him up prior to just sewering him and making him your Scumbag of the Week.
Because he's great, but
I'm not going to build up my Scumbag of the Week. I'm just going to throw him right under the bus. And my Scumbag of the Week is Boogeyman, who does not get an honorable mention on the goalie list for me either. And he's the Scumbag of the Week for me because he's going off in this forum thread nonstop with stories about you being assaulted and making up history, just rewriting history in real time. A lot of the stuff that he's typing is just not even true. I think it only exists in his mind, and maybe I'm a bad guy for calling him a scumbag, but yeah, he's just the scumbag of the week for me.
No, you're not a bad guy. Scumbag of the week. It's what he is. Yeah, he seems to build up these narratives in his head. Like even if Leafy could be completely innocent on something, like Boogie's gonna try to make him out to be the devil.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Another thing with Seaman is that I wouldn't care if his team was shit, but like he had some good players on his team, and it's disrespectful to his teammates to go into the series defeated. But yeah, we can move on.
Well, I mean, if you just want to keep ripping the guy, we can do that too.
No, I'm good. I don't want to rip him. I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay. All right. We're going to do our vet and rookie shout-outs. So I'm going to do my rookies first. And I'm going to give a little shout-out to Gatto here. And Gatto had a nice little 2-goal game against Ripetish Fingerman.
Really?
And I want to say, too, just even playing against him in the finals when he's in the PK, that I've seen big, performance. He's doing a lot better. I'm seeing a lot of improvements out of him. Just his positioning and his checking. He's still got a ways to go with his ball skill, but his positioning and checking is vastly improved, and he's playing with a lot more confidence. And yeah, I want to give him some love. I don't know who Charlie is. Can you tell me who that is?
Charlie is a great, very nice miniature poodle.
Okay, who is Charlie in Hockey Zone?
Charlie may or may not be Azaline.
Okay.
Who you also shouted out last podcast.
Great. I'm going to give him some more love because he's lighting it up in the beer league. I think he's a great player, and I'm enjoying seeing his progress too.
Are you also a fan of Charlie the miniature poodle?
Yeah, he's great too.
It's a she.
She's great as well.
Okay, thank you.
And my vet shout-out's going to be Alastria. This guy is getting just a ton of love for being some X's and O's mastermind, throwing together PowerPoint spreadsheets, pie charts, just really breaking down the analytics to carry the Puck Daddies to where they are. They're all bought into his system. I hope that it gets leaked after the season so we can see what they're made of. But big shout out to Alastria for being bought in as a coach and then not even showing up to the game. Maybe he's sitting in like the bleachers with a fake mustache and a hat or something. But,
he wasn't there game 2?
I don't think so. Either way, kudos to him.
Yeah. Okay. Is it my turn or?
Yeah. Who you want to shout out?
So for my vet, my vet is going to be Doriath. He's back. He seems to be showing to every game, and I think he's showing some signs of his former self. He's got 3 goals and 5 assists. Still making some mistakes, but like you can see, he's getting it back. Will he play RSHL next season? I don't know, but it would be great if he did. And then my rookie and or scrub of the week in the beer league is going to be Cyclone. According to David Seaman, the way he judges players on steals to turnover ratio, Cyclone with 9. He's got 46 minutes of ice time, 9 steals, 4 turnovers. Okay, he's got 20 puck carries and only 4 turnovers. So Clone Man in 46 minutes, just being real efficient out there and playing some good team HZ. So shout out to Clone Man. I know he's listening. That's all I got.
Okay. Our last segment for today is what attracted you to Hockey Zone and why do you keep playing? And I will let you answer that first.
Can you go first?
I'm going to go ahead and let you go first on this one.
Okay, I'm going to go first then. So like my whole life, I always loved like having my playing with my own guy on like sports games. Like whenever I'd have friends over, I'd want to all be on the same team, and I'd always want to player lock. And like back then, you couldn't really do that. You couldn't player lock. So when I found Hockey Zone, like I was so happy just to be able to play with my own guy on a team, and then that's like why like I love those my player modes where you just have your own guy, and that's why I loved Hockey Zone when it started because it's like all the sports combined, and then you get to control your own character, and I still like it today because it's still the same great fun all the time. Like I look forward to every game, and then my teammates are great, so that's that's why I like it.
Okay. I uh, I like Hockey Zone because I mean I grew up playing hockey, and I came over from infantry where I played like grab ball and boom ball, and I always liked, just like you, I kind of liked sports games where I could control my own player, and the whole team aspect to me, I really enjoy playing team games.
Yeah,
Um, so when infantry died, I came over to this because it was just like a logical progression for what was left, and you know, why do I keep playing? I mean, now that I read the forums, I have no fucking clue why I keep playing. Uh, this just seems to be a really toxic place where nobody likes anything. So
drop, dropping the toxic bomb.
yeah. So I'm not sure. I don't know how to answer that part.
Yeah, like I say all the time, I wish people would just play for the game, and like I'm sure everyone still looks forward to their game nights. So that should be the main thing, not all the other stuff. Just don't engage if you don't like it.
All right, man. You got
That's all
any
I got.
parting shots, closing thoughts, anything?
Take a couple parting shots. Strike could have prevented both of your goals in the game with a little bit better CR sitting. CNM probably could have saved both of them. And on your go ahead goal, Zeppelin had a Strike wide open up the pitch along the boards. For some reason, didn't pass it. It was the easiest pass I've ever seen to make. Just like throw it ahead. Doesn't do it, turns it over, and then you guys score on the ensuing possession. So I'd like to see PD play a lot better and smarter in Game 3. Having said that, they still have a chance even if they play bad because of CNM. But that's all I got for today.
I'd just like to say that I was completely unstoppable in game two, and there's nothing they could have done. And
You,
yeah.
you played well.
All right, man.
All right. That's
See
Take
ya.
it easy, Hockey Zone. Syndrome glue sniffing striker, cult leader, Viop.